Now, therefore, be it proclaimed on this 19th day of September 2025 by the Pierce County Council and Executive that September 12 through September 21, 2025 is Welcoming Week in Pierce County, Washington, and community members are encouraged to reach out to organizations like Tacoma Community House to learn more about making Pierce County a welcoming community. Let's give them a hand. And I do see Alice joined us, but we'll start with Amy Koo to give us a little preview of what's happening in the next 2 weeks or so.
Yes, thank you so much for that proclamation and those really powerful words of support for our immigrant community, recognizing the hardships and the impact that our immigrant and refugee community really have on our region. I'm Amy Koo. I serve as Executive Director of Tacoma Community House. We've been serving the immigrant and refugee community for 115 years, and I always say that Tacoma should be so proud, that Pierce County should be so proud of the impact that we've had across our state. I'm excited to be here today to receive this proclamation and to have a short dialogue about the impacts of immigrants and refugees in our community. This Welcoming Week is really an opportunity to dive deep into the concept and practice of belonging. We're going to start Welcoming Week with a symposium, an opportunity to engage the voices and community partners that are working actively on creating and cultivating an environment where all understand that they belong and have a voice in our county. A welcoming community is really built day by day through intentional acts of inclusion, understanding, and compassion, through spaces that uplift and include all of those among us, through policies that protect the rights of those vulnerable, and through programs that ensure access to education, resources, and support for those most in need. And I think, Councilmember Hitchen, you've really described that really well in the way that Pierce County is actively moving forward processes and policies that help create that inclusion for our county. Here in our community, we know that immigrants and refugees bring immeasurable value. They are our neighbors, they're our coworkers, they're healthcare workers, small business owners. They bring new languages, traditions, and perspective. They enrich our schools, strengthen our economy, and deepen our cultural life. I want to take a moment and just recognize and say how proud I am of our immigrant community and the impact that they have. But we also recognize that Welcoming Week challenges us. It challenges us to look honestly at the barriers that exist, the language in the media of how we now talk about immigrants and refugees. This is something that we have to work day in and day out to combat, to recognize that there are immigrants among us who do not feel welcomed, who do not feel like we want them here in our community. And I remember just recently one of my staff members saying, you know, I knew there was a sentiment in our country that immigrants are not welcome. I didn't realize that they didn't want me to be here. And we really have to take that to heart and recognize that each and every day we have an opportunity to really open up those spaces where people feel safe and protected. Or, you know, we kind of give them the assumption that they aren't welcome. So as we think about Welcoming Week, I just want to encourage everyone to think about small acts to large acts. How can you show up for the community? How can you welcome your neighbor? How can you invite someone in who has a different life experience? At Tacoma Community House, we have people from over 100 countries that you have an opportunity to welcome and learn their stories through our programs, and we really welcome you to come in and see and experience those. On September 13th, we're going to have a citizenship celebration at the Moon Festival at Chinese Reconciliation Park. Please join us at about 2:15. We'll be having that celebration of new citizens. And then September 19th at the University of Washington, Tacoma, from 9 to 3, we'll be talking about inclusion, advocacy, opportunities to strengthen our immigration system so that we can really welcome newcomers to our community. So please join us. Your presence, your voice, your commitment to this makes this conversation so much richer. I really believe that together we can build a more welcoming community where everyone knows that this is a place that they can call home. Thank you.
Thank you for your work. Alice? One per organization, if we can just decide. Yeah, so thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Councilmember Hitchen and the council for recognizing today with the proclamation for Welcoming Week. I am humbled to chair the Pierce County Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs. And we came together in 2021 and started to really think about what does this mean? You know, what is the work of our commission for our neighbors, all of our neighbors here? And one of the things that we really envisioned is, you know, hand in hand, right? We're going to work to go together to create, you know, the community that coincides with Pierce County's vision of a place where everybody can be proud to call home. And I think that's really what the commission is about. Yes, we are to serve our constituents of refugees and immigrants and ensure that they feel welcome, they have the resources, and we advise and share that information to you. And then also our other opportunity is to think about our whole community and where can we see the misconceptions of refugees and immigrants and find ways where we can connect and share some ideas of how we can connect and really bring our whole Pierce County together so that we can obtain our vision. And I think that is what our commission is really about, is really working on that. And hand in hand means all of us, people who, you know, are already allies and say, yes, we see all of these things that immigrants and refugees bring to the table, and then also how they enrich our community, and then also those who are still kind of, you know, on the fence, you know, because they might not have had the opportunity to live with different people with different cultures and nuances. And I have to say, there are some things that we don't talk about, is that we actually have a lot of similarities. We all want, you know, safe environments, and we want, you know, have education and to thrive. And then there are those little nuances that that have us rubbing on each other, our cultural differences, and those are things that we have to bring up as well, so that we put it in the frontal lobe and say, yes, we have differences, and then work through them, laugh at them, and continue on, because we all share this Pierce County and that we're all living together. And so I think these proclamations are little opportunities to bring this information and bring this topic to light so that we can talk about it and then figure out, you know, how do we want to be together here in Pierce County, because I still say we are the best. So thank you so much, Councilmember Hitchin, the council, and all the community members who are making this work part of their mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I will look to my colleagues to see if there are comments. Okay. Oh, Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. I just thought we were making eye contact.
Yes,
Yeah. I do, first and foremost, just want to say thank you. I think something that I want to highlight, and Alice, you brought this up so well, around those differences and that alignment. And within the world of Welcoming Week, there is just so much nuance, not just across different parts of the world, but even geographically within different continents. And so I would encourage everyone to explore, and I'll say this as someone who has more of a Mexican heritage, the difference between myself and someone from Guatemala is very, very different, though in certain communities we may be lumped into one bucket. And so even for those that are allies, would definitely encourage folks to just challenge themselves a bit more. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for the comments. Any further comments? Councilmember Yambe.
I didn't want to talk because it would sound self-serving, but I just want to say thank you to everybody all the organizations who have come and do advocacy for immigrant and refugee populations. You know, on my mom's side, I have, 4 generations that have been touched by Pierce County, but on my dad's side, they were immigrants, and yeah, it was very different experiences and very different philosophies on what it means to be an American, and so I think that's great, and I think that shows the testament of, for example, I get to do the next proclamation, but it shows the resilience and the potential and opportunities that we have always had, yes, there's fighting back and forth about it, but the opportunities that we can do when we work together. And so I appreciate you all for continuing to do the work of helping encourage, even during this time that is reminiscent of others in our history, of encouraging the stranger and taking them in and giving them support and access to resources, and really show the opportunity that is here in this country. And so thanks for all your work.
Thank you for the comments. I will just conclude with more than ever declaring the 12th to the 21st as Welcoming Week is really important, to the point that Director Koo said. We're a nation of immigrants. We have worked together tirelessly. We have bled for this country many times, and what we're seeing is a dismantling of what I thought was a foundation of our country that we were built on. We found it very kind of the juxtaposition of Constitution Week and Welcoming Week at the same time, and how it feels kind of uncomfortable because of some of the things that are happening. But I continue to say that Pierce County is a welcoming community. We emphasize how important it is to have organizations like Tacoma Community House, having Kriya, who's out there really helping us think about how we do this. And our country is stronger for our diversity, and that diversity, a lot of it comes from people that were immigrants and now they lived here wholeheartedly. They still have that foundation. There's still communities across our community. And we're stronger when we're together. So thank you.